Hello everybody and welcome to Lauren Loves Color. This is Lauren. I'm doing something a little bit different today. I have had a lot going on. I haven't had an opportunity to do a color and chat, so I thought that now would be the right time to do that, but I'm also not really in the mood for coloring at this minute. I'm actually in the mood for swatching. I got these 3 amazing, beautiful watercolor sets in the mail today, and I wanted to go ahead and swatch them. And so I figured maybe we can kind of catch up a little bit while I swatch them, just to kind of keep you a little bit entertained. To give you a little bit of an idea of kind of what we plan on doing today as well, and kind of going like, watercolor? Lauren, I've never seen you watercolor. You're probably right. I don't think I've ever watercolored on screen before. I've been itching to do it though. I bought a book from Lulu called The World's Cutest Animals, and then I was also recently gifted a book, Romantic Country, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with this book. It's been around for a long time. It's by Erie, and I've been extremely intimidated to color in it or do anything up until now. And I kind of have felt like I've seen enough people that I felt comfortable kind of diving in. So I just kind of stepped outside the box and I did a couple of pages. I want to show you what I did. This very first one that I did this scarecrow guy. I've really been into scarecrows and pumpkins, I think, because I missed out a lot of coloring on October. And so I did this, and this is what made me fall in love. I based this in watercolor, and then I went over this with colored pencil and just some white Posca pen. And I did the same. I was still kind of in the mood, and so I did the same with this page. By the time I finished this page, I had already messaged Danielle, Danny Buttons, and said, what watercolors is it that you use again? Because I feel like I want some specific palettes. While I think a lot of people probably like mixing their own watercolors and things like that too, for me, it's nice to be able to pick up kind of a smaller palette and just kind of go to town. I'm the same way with markers. Like I love my Ohuhu pastel set, and I have some other sets of markers too that are just nice to just be able to pick up and not have to think about what goes with what colors mix well, and doing those types of things. So immediately when she told me about this is the Prisma, what do you call it? Prisma, not Prisma, Prima Marketing, Prima Marketing, and they have a lot of these different color palettes. I picked up 3. They're about $25 a piece, so they're definitely a little bit of an investment, but I absolutely fell in love with them and just felt like while I'm in the watercolor mood, these have gone on and off my wish list multiple times. I just decided to pull the trigger. So I purchased 3. This very first one I purchased is Tropicals, nice, bright, vivid colors. This next one is beautiful, called Pastel Dreams. And then this last one, really, I thought about Romantic Country instantly when I saw it, and this one is called Vintage Pastels. So all of these I got off Amazon. I will put affiliate links down below in the description box. If you're curious what I use to watercolor, because I've never really watercolored anything on screen, I just want to show you the supplies that I got and that I do like. So this first, and this is going to be my swatch brush, is I bought some watercoloring brush pens. So you actually fill this reservoir up just with tap water is what I use. And then this pack that I have comes with a wide variety of different brushes. I have abused these a little bit. They're not in terribly great shape anymore, but they do work extremely well. So this set, it looks like I got from Ohuhu. These are the Ohuhu watercolor brush pens. These are the different sizes down below that you'll see here, and this is what they look like. So there's a nice wide variety of a brush that's kind of like nice and small for detailing to, I mean, like a gigundo brushes that maybe you would use for doing something like backgrounds. So I don't remember how much this set was. I got it a long time ago. I will try to link it down below in the description box, but if you get any brushes or any brushes like this, there's a ton of them available on Amazon. They're not terribly expensive, and they're fantastic for watercoloring because you just squeeze on this little reservoir to get some more water on your brush or to clean your brush. So they're kind of self-cleaning in some way. I do also like to use just a little spray bottle. This one I got for free. It looks like from Visible Changes. Don't know if you guys have those hair salons by you, but there's a lady I go to. I get my hair colored all the time from at Visible Changes. And obviously this came probably with some sort of a set or something that I bought. So it's nice to have a little spray bottle. Not necessary, but nice to have close by to wet your palette. And then for my everyday, I say everyday, not like I watercolor all the time. I haven't watercolored in many, many months, but these are the watercolors that I use. The Giorgione 48 Color Artist Watercolor. It came with quite a bit of freebies. It came with these, with watercolor paper. Yeah, which is what I use to do my swatches. So if you're wondering what comes in the 48 set, this is what comes with it. This set I liked too because the colors were really nice and bright, and it gave you a nice variety of different colors. It came with, like I said, watercolor paper. It came with, you know, I don't know, like a little cleaning cloth. It came with one that's kind of like the faux leather on the back. I use this, I kind of put these behind my pages sometimes to keep the water from going through. These are instructions and just the names of the color palettes and stuff as well. So I use this as reference when I swatched. And then this is what the palette looks like itself. It's nice and big. It's got the little key ring thing in case you were to hold on to it. This thing is so big, I never hold on to it. You'll see my pan is pretty dirty. I used it somewhat recently, so I use this to kind of test and mix colors up at the top here. And then there's this little protective sleeve. So this is what the set looks like. It comes with this little foam sponge. I think if you wanted to wet this with water and to kind of dampen your waters, you can. It does come with a water brush, which is what I like too. And this is actually a pretty nice water brush. So I have used this before. You can tell it's nice and stained. And then it comes with a traditional watercolor brush if you want to just use a regular brush as well. So honestly, if you were to just get this set alone, this is really, really nice just on its own. So I don't think this is like professional grade, but it's not chalky. It's, you know, fairly inexpensive, but not chalky. So I did want to show that if you're just curious what I have been using up until this point. In those images that you saw, I used exclusively the colors in that palette. So just wanted to show you specifically what that looked like. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just open these for you and talk as we open them, just so you can see what's inside. I'm going to start with, this is with the Tropicals palette. So each of these comes with 12 watercolors. And of course you can, I think like Danielle, Danny Buttons, if you've seen her watercoloring video, I think she has one big palette that she keeps them all in, but I will probably keep these in the smaller palettes so that I can just kind of grab them as I go. And I like that they're nice and compact and small. It's got the Tropicals, the ring here, Art Philosophy, I think is the name of the names of the brands. Oh, I forget that it folds open like that. That's kind of nice. And then there you go. And so actually I did not realize they're all individually wrapped in here. And then there is a swatch card here to be able to do the swatches. So that is really, really cool. All right, so that is, and I believe from what I saw online, so like this one starts at number 13. So each of the palettes, I believe, comes with a name and a number for each of the colors, and you can replace these. Like you can buy individual replacements of these colors if you were to run out, but also it's that the numbers and colors don't overlap, which is really nice. And then probably what I'm going to do is we'll pause as soon as I open each of these, and I'll unwrap each of the little things individually because I feel like that's going to take a really long time. Here's Pastel Dreams. Oops. A couple that came out here. Yeah, like this one starts with number 37 and goes up, and you can see what it looks like. It looks like a couple of my things just fell out there. Not a big deal. Yeah, and they actually just kind of pop in, which is kind of nice. That's going to be beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Like I said, I feel like it's just nice to be able to kind of pop a palette open and just kind of get going. And then this last one, I feel like especially for Romantic Country, this is really what I'm looking for. Which this is Vintage Pastels. And there's a few more. They had one that's like just your basic primary colors. I didn't get that one because obviously I already have some basic colors. There's one that's called Essence, which is like bright, bolder colors. And then they had a couple of some that were like, oh, this swatch card's a little bit different. It's smaller. That was like, you know, like landscapes and seascapes and stuff like that. So lots of like blues and greens. They had one that was like a portrait one that had lots of skin tones. So, I mean, depending upon what you're doing, for me, I probably will stick to some combination of these palettes and my bigger palette to do things like if I needed to do a skin tone or something. So this one starts with number 109, and then these are the beautiful colors that come with that. So, all right, so that is the 3 palettes. I'm going to go ahead and pause here. I'm going to unwrap each of these individually, and then we'll get ready to start swatching. See you in a minute. So I'm back. So I know we're in a less aesthetically pleasing situation, but I am protecting my desk. I just have, actually, this is one of my son's like baby towels, like old towels and stuff too, so that if I get it a little kind of grungy and wet and stuff, it's not that big of a deal. So I have next to me just a cup of water. I have a paper towel to kind of dab off with. This I'll use to wet the watercolors, and then just my watercolor itself. Honestly, usually I don't have this much as like a setup, but I just wanted to be prepared in case things got a little bit messy. So let me show you guys kind of what it looks like with the palettes. Currently that is Pastel Dreams. Here is Vintage Pastels. And then you can see here, this one is Tropicals. So a couple of things to note, especially if you're newer to watercolor, kind of like, I still consider myself very much a beginner with watercolor. I'm by far not advanced at all. The colors always look darker in the pan than how they're going to swatch. So you may look, especially like at this one, and feel like, oh, this isn't terribly pastel. And we'll see. And maybe it's not as pastel when we swatch it, like in my mind. But usually the colors I have found look darker. Like a lot of these look black almost. And I remember when I was shopping for watercolor online on Amazon, I would see pictures of the palette and I would go, wow, there's so many dark colors. But when you swatch them, they swatch so much lighter than what you would imagine. So we're going to go ahead and just start with this palette here, which is the Tropicals, and hopefully you'll kind of see that as we swatch them out. So I've got my nice swatch card here. What I like about these Prima marketing ones is that they are also, like I said, they're numbered, and they are they have names to them as well. And when you pop the pans out of here, each of the pans on the side has the number that corresponds here. So this is number 15 Hurricane, and so if I wanted to go and buy it, I can. Also, because each of these do pop out, so you have the ability to switch them. So maybe if you want to switch the color order, you want to add some more colors in, whatever it is that you want to do, you can. And this center tray is removable, so you can take this out, pop this into a larger palette, you know, kind of whatever it is that you want to do. So what I'm going to do right now, and I don't even know why I am, get this out of the way. Wow, this isn't really like spraying as much as I thought it would. It's more kind of like a actual mist. That is, or it's not as misty as I thought it would be, but that's okay. It serves its purpose for what it is right now. So I like to get each of the pans kind of wet a little bit so that they can activate the watercolor. And then we're just going to go ahead and go. And I'm going to just wet my brush a little bit as well. So this very first one I'm going to do is Island. You can even see just by, let me zoom in just a little bit, so you can see maybe a little bit more of what I'm doing. And I'm not like a professional swatcher, so I don't even know what the right way is to swatch, but yeah, you can definitely tell this is much more pigmented. are much more lighter than the actual swatch. Wow, that's a beautiful, beautiful green. Beautiful green. So I really want to make sure to clean off my brush really good. And I'm sure if I was being really precise, I would go lightest to darkest with my swatching, but I'm just going in order because I'm afraid of getting out of order. This is coconut. Beautiful. Oh, these colors are gorgeous. I love this. Number 15, Hurricane. Pretty blue. Like there's maybe too much water on my brush because I feel like that is very, very saturated with water. So number 16 is Parrot. Beautiful. See, I just feel like what's nice about these palettes is I literally can just go and pick this up and kind of start going. And I know that the colors are going to mesh together nicely. This is Hibiscus. Beautiful, like orangey red. So let's get to talking. How are you guys? I hope you have been well. I wanted to spend some time and kind of catch you guys up on my life and kind of everything that's going on. Honestly, I actually filmed a color in chat, but lost the footage because of I got a phone call in the middle of me filming and it stopped recording. And I didn't realize that until I was done, and I just honestly haven't had the energy to film a color in chat since then. We have been extraordinarily busy in my household. I mean, extraordinarily busy. My son is turning 4 this month. He actually has his birthday party on Saturday, which is great. And so we're really excited about him turning 4. He's getting to be a big boy. I'm actually home today, off from work because my daughter is sick. She's taking a nap right now. So if she disturbs us in the middle of this, then definitely I have to go. But I'm hoping I have enough time. But honestly, today I wouldn't even normally be doing anything except I'm home with my daughter. She has been sick this past week, and with just a bad virus, it's kind of turned into a bit of a sinus infection. Well, we started her on an antibiotic, and she is allergic to the antibiotic. So I spent all morning at the doctor's office trying to kind of figure out what was going on, and my daughter just screaming and screaming and screaming. Like I said, come to find out she is actually allergic. So we've now taken her off of the antibiotic and are just going to see if she can kind of fight this off on her own. If not, then we will try a different antibiotic. So yeah, that's been really fun. Whoop. She goes, you hear her coughing. I've got her monitor next to me so I can watch her. She's just kind of tossing and turning a little bit. But I was a little bit MIA this past month, in the month of October, and that is because my partner at work had a lot going on in her personal life and was out for a month. So I kind of had to move offices and change a lot of things and get stuff settled for her and to work with her team and her department. And so October was an extremely, extremely busy month for me. So I really hardly colored much at all. I wasn't in the mood. I literally would come home, I would be exhausted. You know, I'd just be focused on trying to get my kids ready for bed and school and all that stuff. Fortunately, she is back now, but I seem to be the one having the problems now. So like I've kind of mentioned, nothing bad going on in my life, just extraordinarily busy. We're also starting to kind of talk about plans for Thanksgiving and things like that, as Thanksgiving is starting to get near. So that's been a lot going on with that as well. We had a really good Halloween. My daughter was Minnie Mouse and my son was Spider-Man. My husband was Ted Lasso from the show Ted Lasso, and I was a butterfly. So we had a really good time. That was really fun. Okay, so these are the swatches, and so now you can really see like how much more vibrant and beautiful the colors are once they're actually swatched than kind of just sitting there. So let me just see if I can deepen this one, this hurricane, up a little bit. This one might just not be as pigmented as some of the others. Like I feel like some of the others, like their blues are probably the most, like not as rich as some of the other ones, but still very, very beautiful. All right, I am going to just get a new napkin and just change my water, and I'll be right back. All right, so next is going to be Vintage Pastels. This swatch card is slightly different. You'll see this one kind of folds out like this, but this one is slightly different. I actually like and prefer this one because it kind of matches the top and the bottom. There's not as much thinking in regards to the swatching. So I kind of like that there's less real estate to swatch on, but I don't mind that as much. All right, and I got myself some fresh water too because that other water was just looking a little too muddy to my liking, and I don't want to muddy up the pastels for sure. So like I was saying, we had a really, really good Halloween. Wow, that's not really showing up like at all. The periwinkle color. When they say pastel, they definitely mean pastel. That is very, very light. So we had a very, very good Halloween, but October was extremely busy for me. But fortunately, things are kind of getting, I guess, a little bit back in the groove until my daughter got sick. And then once my daughter got sick, then kind of all bets were off again, because it's just, it's so hard when little ones get sick. It's just tough. It's tough to watch them be sick. They can't really, like, you know, my daughter can't really explain to me what the problem is and why she's not feeling well. This is Golden Glow. And so it makes it really, really hard for me to know why she doesn't feel good. So, and my son is getting to the point now to where he's learning how to read at daycare, which is really, really fun. Kind of neat just to see, you know, sometimes you're just like, there's a brain up there and it's working, which is really, really nice. Also, I will be continuing my Swatch and Swatch Diva giveaway. Sorry, I'm like all over the place today. I don't really have like a solid line of how I want to talk today, but I am going to continue my Swatch and Swatch Diva giveaway. So I will be doing that giveaway on Instagram. Suede is this next color. Kind of a like grayish color. Kind of the color I want to paint the walls in my house. Yeah, so go follow me on Instagram if you haven't already to go see what that looks like. I may have already posted it, honestly, by the time that this video posts, but I am going to be doing giveaways every month. It is for 5 different winners every single month, and I'm doing the giveaway between my between my Instagram, YouTube, and Sachin's Facebook page. First I did YouTube, then I did his Facebook page, and now I'm going to be doing it on Instagram. And I'll continue like that rotation. So for the month of December, I should be back on YouTube doing the giveaway there. This one is Breezy. So yeah, now I can actually start to see the colors a little bit. It's just hard to see them when they're drying. They're really, really beautiful picture, really, really beautiful paints. See, I can definitely see in Romantic Country doing an entire page just in these colors. I think they're just absolutely beautiful. I'm going to do charcoal last just because it's the darkest color. Do this dark rose. I love this color. This like mauvey pink. This is like the perfect like lipstick color for me. It's very complementary to my skin tone. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. This was actually the set that Danielle recommended to me. This is Apple Blossom. And I absolutely love it. Great recommendation from her, of course. And then Dusky Mauve. So they are describing this color as a mauve. See, yeah, like this didn't muddy up my waters as much. I don't think these are as deep of colors. And then charcoal, which looks to be the black. Oh, yeah. See, and you could definitely use the black in this set to darken any of these colors. So if you maybe wanted to do get it like a deeper blue or, you know, anything like that, you can do that. So those are the vintage pastel colors. Aren't those gorgeous? Those are beautiful. Yeah, these definitely are going to find a place in my book. So just to give you a little bit of a comparison, here are the two that we've done thus far. This is the Tropicals. And then these are the vintage pastels. So the next one that we have next to do is Pastel Dreams. So we will do that one next. I just love the pastels. I love using like pastel colors as a base because what I like about that is that you have then the ability to deepen some of the tones, deepen some things up a little bit. Okay, and I think I'm going to start from the bottom and then work my way up because it kind of starts to get deeper. And so yeah, my water is clean-ish enough to make me feel comfortable. This very first one is called Lilac Rain. Beautiful. I honestly feel like out of all of these palettes, I feel like this is probably the one I'm going to use most. Ice Sky. This one is very pastel. Like I can barely see it swatching on the paper. I know it'll deepen up as it dries, but man, that is hard to see. It's a very, very icy blue. Pool Party. That's pretty. Very pretty. Paradise. Honestly, that green and purple would look really pretty together. Sea Dream. Yeah, this one is starting to dry, this Ice Sky, but I don't know how well you can see that. I mean, it is so light. It is so light. It is almost blending in with the paper. I'm not as big of a fan of that color right now. Bumblebee. Beautiful. Hear my daughter snoring. Let's try that Lilac Rain again. Or no, Ice Sky. Ice Sky. Maybe just another another layer of it. We'll see how that kind of forms up. But here's what the colors look like thus far. So I love these four here. The Sea Dream is nice too. It's kind of a very light turquoise. Ice Sky is the one I'm just not really digging yet. This next one is Citrus, which seems like a really just fresh, bright, cool colored orange. My father-in-law is home from his walk. It's beautiful outside right now. And then this one is Lemonade. You know, I will tell you, I'm being a little bit away from YouTube and things has been nice but sad at the same time. Like, I feel like I'm missing a part of my relaxation process, and I really find coloring extremely therapeutic. And so when I haven't been filming, I also haven't been coloring. And so what at least feels nice right now is that I know that I'm still not coloring at the rate and filming at the rate, I mean, that I would like. But in the same sense, I feel like I'm getting back a little bit to my normal self and getting some therapy. Like, even just sitting here, just swatching some of this stuff is just relaxing and just kind of helps me decompress and helps me just feel a little bit at ease. So I do really very much, I'm very happy that I get this time. Even though I know it's limited, I know my daughter's probably going to wake up here soon. Oh, beautiful. That crimson color. This is crimson. Not exactly what I would think of as crimson, but beautiful all in the same. So the Ice Sky has gotten a little bit better now that I've kind of added a second layer to it. but it's still definitely very, very light. But honestly, I think if you were to do a background and stuff, I think that would be it. I think the thing is like for me, I don't know what it is, but there is something about the blues in this palette that I'm not as blown away with. I feel like the other colors in these palettes just really outdo the blue, which is interesting. Chocolates. Gorgeous. And last but not least, this last one is just simply brown. All right, so that is it. Those are all of the colors for the pastel palette. So let's take a look at that one and tell me what you think. I think that's a gorgeous, gorgeous palette. I feel like it's just very fresh, very, very fresh, fun colors. So that is the Pastels palette. Is that what it's called? Pastel Dreams palette. This one is the Vintage Pastels palette. This one is completely dry. And this one is the Tropicals palette, which that's gorgeous. I feel like I could definitely use the colors from both of these to create something really, really stunning. I feel like there's a lot of complementary colors and things in here. So that is all that I have for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is something a little bit new. I know I'm a little bit scatterbrained and all over the place. I honestly am just trying to get back in the rhythm of filming again. And I haven't done a color and chat in a long time. And so I'm a little bit out of practice. So please forgive me. Hopefully you at least got to see some really beautiful swatches of some watercolors. I hope to get some of these into use soon. And with that being said, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.